Live from Paradise Studios in Massapequa, New York, it's Unger the Radar, starring Randy Unger. Brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a tude to match your attitude. Tonight, Randy will be reviewing the new films The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot, In Like Flynn, and Arctic, with special guest critics Dan Shaggy GB and Joseph Ammendolea. Randy will also be sharing his coverage of the Reign of the Supermen New York City red carpet premiere. And now, here's your host, Randy Unger.
Hey guys, welcome to Unger the Radar. I'm your host Randy Unger, and I just want to thank everyone for spending their Sunday evening with us tonight. First off, the other night I had the extreme privilege and honor of attending the red carpet premiere of the Reign of the Supermen Blu-ray release. I got to interview some wonderful talent, including Jerry O'Connell and Tony Todd, and here's a short video summarizing that.
What? This is Patrick Fabian, Cyborg Superman, and we are Unger the Radar.
Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and this is Unger the Radar at the East Coast premiere of Reign of the Supermen, the new DC animated film, and I'm about to talk to some of the talent. Here we go.
I was born drawing.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be an artist. I loved cartoons, and the fates led me to being in animation, and I love it.
So, did you read the comics growing up and stuff like that?
I was not a comic book head. As one of the producers referred to me, he said I was an outside kid.
Okay.
Great, and everybody laughed, and I was
All
like,
right.
all right. But that was actually good, because I came to the project with no preconceptions.
Right.
And so
Okay.
therefore, I, like I normally do with any acting job, I looked at the script, I figured out what the scenes were, and then with the good guidance of the director and Wes Gleason, who was my booth director, we figured out. And then we started seeing the animation, and then we started seeing the animation moving, and it was thrilling to
That
watch
must
it
have
all
been an
work.
interesting experience.
Yeah, because I think I was working it in my brain from the outside in, like, oh, I'll see a picture, and then I'll come up with the thing, and it's
Right.
exactly the opposite.
Okay.
The scene is the scene, and the animators are working for the same emotional peak that the actors are.
All right.
So I think it really comes together great in this.
Were you a big comic book reader?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I was the only kid. So
Okay. Me
yeah,
too, only child.
There
Yeah.
you go. So
Yeah.
my aunt raised me. Every week she would give me $2 for comics, specifically.
Right.
And I would get those 80-page, 25-cent giants.
All right.
And those would be my first scripts.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
So that was
so it's full circle.
some early preparation in your career.
Then I wasn't even conscious of it.
Yeah.
I grew up watching the Super Friends. You know, I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't do so comics. I didn't really read, but I grew up watching anything and everything I could.
All right.
We were just talking about it earlier. Like, we didn't have the wealth of riches of that there's out right now, and I'm enjoying all of it right now. You know, at my house we watch. We watch all the Young Justice, like every Saturday. We're like, oh, Young Justice, sit down and watch. You know, I've got like tons of DVDs. And
Nice.
But back when I was a kid, it was like you had the Super Friends, you had like, you know, the Batman and Robin with Adam West, and you know, and we just soaked up everything.
It was great back then, and I think it's getting even better in a way.
Well, yeah, because
In a
I mean,
way.
I think there's more of it,
Yeah,
and technology is better, and what's cool is that there's things that are being made for older kids in a sense, you know, not like everything was kind of geared towards like real little kids back then.
Right.
So, you know, there's stuff that's being made for people like me.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does it feel bringing stories like this to a younger generation?
It's awesome. I mean, and to be playing, you know, for me specifically as an African American, to be bringing these characters to life that I didn't see, it's inspiring. And I've got kids, so I love sitting and watching them with my kids and seeing that.
If I had kids, I would do this all day.
Right.
Until they go to sleep, watch cartoons.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
you know, I got to work.
I think I like the cartoons more than they do. You know, in a lot of
You
ways.
get more of a kick out of it.
Yeah.
Great work in the film.
Thank you very much.
Martian Manhunter.
Yes.
Such a great, interesting character. What was it like tackling that role? It's huge because, for me, I feel like he's carrying the souls of a million people, of his own people, within him, and so to know that, and then also be someone who is trying to find sort of the moral good, the moral fiber in people and other people, in humanity. It's a heavy burden, and
very complex.
Yes, very complex.
Character.
And so then to be able, and then the fact that literally, like Batman jokes that if I wanted to defeat you, all I'd have to do is light a match. Right. For someone where that's the case, where if he sees a match lit near him, he freaks out. Right. There's so much complexity to why that is.
What was it like adapting a comic book to the screen? What's that conversion process like?
I mean, we cut out all the words in the comics. Yeah, put them in a jar. We shook them up.
I love that idea.
And then we just kind of randomly, and it was luck.
So that's how it's done.
That's exactly how it's done.
It's funny because you say conversion, and we never really approached it like we were converting the comics. We came in and we said, okay, what is important about Reign of the Supermen? Knowing that these are the characters that we need to introduce and tell this story. We knew where we were going to end up. We knew how the movie was going to end, and then how do we get there? And be as faithful as we can to the themes and ideas of what the comics were all about. Yeah. That was really what it was. I mean, it's as simple as that, and that's really easy. No, I'm just kidding.
Did you guys feel pressure in that task?
Always.
Yeah.
I feel pressure still, and it's done.
Yes. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a lot. And I think in all of the adaptations we do, it's about watching a movie that gives you the same feeling that you had when you read the comic book. Because we can't adapt it line for line and panel for panel. It would take too long, and it wouldn't read the same way.
And it would kind of be an insult to the original creators, I'd say.
Yeah, and a ripoff.
I just feel like hopefully they work as companion pieces with each other. That people will keep reading the comics and keep loving that story and keep buying the movies and watching the movies. I mean, I think we all live together in a happy multiverse.
Sliders, my secret identity. What's it like being part of all these wonderful franchises?
Lucky, I guess. I don't know. I'll tell you, I'm super stoked to be a part of all this DC animated stuff. It's my highest ratings on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, okay.
Are these DC animated movies.
How does that feel? Like, you've had a really long career, too.
Yeah, I feel honored to be here.
Awesome.
So I wanted to show my appreciation to everybody by doing this.
And we appreciate that.
Tag us, Reign of Supermen.
Definitely. Were you a big comic book reader growing up? Still am?
I can't say I still am, but I think working in the DC animated world sort of fills that void.
Yeah. Now, so many great actors have played Superman before. What was it like stepping into his boots, so to speak?
It's scary, but so many people here in the DC Warner Brothers world really help you through. I have so much help, and I can't take full credit for it, but they give us great scripts to work with. You see a sort of softer, more vulnerable side of not only Superman, but Clark and Lois, and I get a lot of help.
And there you have it, the East Coast premiere of Reign of the Supermen, now out on digital and Blu-ray. Check it out.
And there you have it, guys, my coverage of the Reign of the Supermen red carpet event. One of the greatest events I've ever had the privilege of attending, and all the talent, they were super cool, super nice, and just plain super. Hey. So in a minute, guys, we're going to get into our film review segment. I have Mr. Dan Shaggy GB and Mr. Joseph Ammendolea, and we will be reviewing the new films The Man Who Killed Hitler, Then the Bigfoot, In Like Flynn, and Arctic. So stay tuned right after this commercial break.
Unger the Radar is brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Patent pending interchange genuine gemstone and crystal EMF protection jewelry. For more information, please visit magnitudejewelry.com/gemgirl or call 718-268-6634.
Well, welcome back, guys. This is Unger the Radar, and this is our film review segment. And we've got 3 movies to talk about, 2 of which you guys have seen. But yeah, first off, Dan Shaggy GB, hello. Welcome
Hello,
back.
how are you? I'm.
You good?
I'm awake.
Yeah. Okay, you're awake.
Yeah.
You're here, in body and mind. Yeah. All right. Hey, Joseph Ammendolea.
Yes.
Okay. We'll go with that, right?
I'll go with whatever you say.
All right.
You know, and in grammar school I cared. High school I kind of cared.
Yeah.
But college I just said yes to it.
Yeah, you just went with it.
Yeah. It's there.
Cool. That's cool. Well, thanks so much, guys, for being here again. I'm loving the shirts today. I don't know if everyone can see the. What we got? Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Is
It's
that
a Wild Slimer has appeared.
Is that a screenshot from the NES game?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's like a spoof on like Final Fantasy, right?
Okay.
Both of you guys are. It's
Explain.
Pokemon.
Oh, really? Okay.
3 traps.
I'm not a Pokemon guy. I don't know. But I like it. It's cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's one of my new shirts. I was like,
Nice.
I gotta get this.
Yeah. Good. And classic Star Wars. I love it.
Like $10 at Old Navy.
Really?
$10
Good deal.
Yes.
Perfect.
T-Fury. That's what they do.
Some nice plugs going on here right now.
Right. I wish they paid me for that. Plug.
Yeah, right? Seriously. So, yeah. Thank you.
Plug it.
Please, do as much as you can. All right, guys, we got 3 movies. The Man Who Killed Hitler, and then The Bigfoot.
The title's
I
too
didn't
long.
come up with the title, guys.
The title's too long.
Yeah, this is a strange one, but it's got... from being total crap. But, yeah, guys, what did you think of this one?
Joe, please.
Joe.
Joe, please
So-
start this one.
It was
I got some thoughts.
Oh, boy.
the name implies that it would be silly.
Yeah.
And it's not a silly movie at all. It's actually
Right.
a very serious movie.
Yeah. It's dark.
And so fix the name for one.
Yeah.
Because it's a drama. And it was very slow.
Yeah.
And just when you think it's about to pick up and tell you something, it doesn't. And that would be probably the complaint about the movie.
Yeah.
But it did touch some themes about, what it's like to get old.
Yeah, loneliness.
And like where you fit in with the world.
Regret.
Yes, regret. Yeah, that was in there. I wonder though if it made sense that the character would be so depressed or down as he was, because he killed Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You figure that wouldn't be a weight that you carry with you in life.
Yeah, that's
that would
kind
just
of something to celebrate.
Yeah, right. And maybe you don't throw a party because you killed somebody. But
Yeah.
you certainly don't run around moping all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it was more or less like the whole idea of like behind it, like that he had to he was I think he said it once when during the whole spiel that he was going on. He's like he went through, he tracked this guy, he kept tracking him, and he followed him, shadowed him, and he kept coming across and he's like, I killed a guy that was playing an actor that was supposed to be a monster. He's like, I caught the real monster, but at the same time, I was following actors that were playing a monster. Mm-hmm. And he's like, but I killed a person. Like when it comes down, I killed a person. And it was like, but I was like,
I think if they cast maybe like Bruce Campbell,
yeah,
that would have made it a lot more.
I was thinking Bubba Hotep. That kind of
yeah,
reminded me
right.
of Bubba Hotep.
It's like the title alone was like I was interested. Like this is an interesting title.
I wasn't interested. I just immediately said, this sounds dumb.
Yeah, well, it is dumb.
Yeah.
But
It was missing. It was a name like that. You need more humor.
Yeah, for sure.
If they would have called it anything else,
Yep.
they probably would have been a little bit better.
What did you guys think of Sam Elliott's performance?
Well, I'll definitely say like right off the bat with when he's sitting in the bar, I immediately was like, I've been sitting here waiting for the dude.
Yeah.
For about 3 days.
The dude abides.
I like the opening.
Yeah, the opening
I like
is
the opening
very
with the music,
somber.
Billy Squire. Can't go wrong with that. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this movie's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And then
That's exactly what
that
I
was the most
said.
exciting part of the movie.
And it just was like, I didn't
Yeah.
like how it jumped back and forth so much. The transitions. the transition. I'll say that the transitions were beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like every transition, like was perfect. Where he was like, I think it was he was laying in the bed, like as the old guy, as Sam Elliott, and he turns over, and then it's the younger self, and then he's hearing like rocks going.
When
up
he's in the
against
street, and they cut to like 1940 something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1930
when
something.
the thugs came out.
It was nicely done, but there wasn't much of a point in that story
a lot
arc.
of it was just.
They pretty much tell you the whole movie in
Do
the
we
title.
care?
Are we
about-
spoiling by saying that?
And then they throw in Larry Miller as the brother who looks like the least person that would be related to Sam Elliott.
They aged him very poorly, I think.
Yeah. He's 65. I think Elliot is like 72, 73.
That was the other thing. Sam Elliott is not the right age to be a guy who was old enough to kill Hitler.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think this was taking place in the 80s.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
Yeah. They didn't really mention
showing-
that
yeah.
too much.
Okay.
I think they like brushed on it.
I think it was the car. Like a lot of the times, the cars were different. Like that. They didn't have a lot of newer cars. They had a lot of like.
Now I kind of want to rewatch it.
Like.
See what I missed.
A lot of like, little like.
I had to watch it twice too.
Yes.
Okay.
I was once was enough for me. Because that I don't think is this giving away anything. When he meets Bigfoot?
Yeah, I don't think
that was the worst. Like everything about Bigfoot was just the worst.
Right.
I was like, they really are going to do that? Like,
well,
what?
I was feeling for Bigfoot a little bit, just doing its thing, and then
it's just a treat.
Some guys shooting
Get shot
at
in the
you.
face.
Yeah.
Dude. Runs away.
The special effects and costume design were something to leave desired, I think.
Oh, as a cosplayer looking at that thing, I'm like, I can make better things on a $2 budget.
I'm sure.
The nostalgia pieces, the old like the 1940s.
That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was all pretty. I thought that was pretty authentic.
Yeah.
But
the Bigfoot was a little odd looking.
Yeah.
But it's an evil Bigfoot, where it wasn't the Harry and
I don't think he's
Hendersons.
evil. He's just kind of an animal, like no conscience really.
But you're not
You
really
look like an alien.
You're not supposed to be rooting for this Bigfoot, right?
No.
Where Harry and the Hendersons, if it looked like that, you'd be really, your heart would be broken at the end of that movie. If it looked like that.
I love that movie.
Like, they gave you that moment of like.
Oh. Yeah.
I didn't say nothing, but they gave you that moment.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, don't do this. It's a sad moment. It's like no, I got to do this. Bye.
Got a job to do, and I'm going to do it. And he did it.
Sorry, I have to do this, but it's got to be done.
Yeah. Are you guys big Sam Elliott fans? He's been around.
Been around.
Yeah, he's been doing stuff for a while.
Yeah.
I don't seek him out. He's never
Yeah,
done a bad job. He's always
Yeah. Obviously, The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Love that movie. It's a classic.
Ghost Rider.
Oh
Ghost
yeah,
Rider.
that's true. It was also in Roadhouse.
I don't think he puts Ghost Rider on his resume.
Was he also in Hulk?
Yes.
Hulk?
No, that was Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte was the dad.
No, wasn't he General Ross in the Hulk?
He was an evil general or something in the Eric Bana one, right?
Right.
Was he?
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah, so he's done two
Oh,
Marvel
he's done.
movies.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. This one, I don't think this is on my radar.
No, not mine.
Yeah.
There's a blip on that. What the hell was that?
What happened?
Exactly.
All right, moving on. We've got In Like Flynn, slightly more interesting movie. I wouldn't say it's better.
I don't know about that.
And basically, it tells the early history of actor Errol Flynn, who's best known for Robin Hood back in the what's the era here?
30s. Golden Age of Hollywood.
Golden Age, thank you. Basically, it stars Thomas Coquerel, strange name, pretty boy guy, and basically, along with 3 other friends, one's not so much a friend. They basically inherit this. Acquire this ship, this small vessel.
Acquire.
And
you're using very loose terms for the fact that they stole a ship.
Yeah, they acquired it.
They acquired everything.
Not legally.
By just him going, you want gold. Yeah, I do want gold. Then you're coming with us.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That was the gist of the beginning.
And then they go out and search for gold in Papua New Guinea. And basically along the way they
find some shit.
They find danger. They find romance. They find a lot of stuff.
Where did they find romance?
Well, Errol Flynn kind of hooked up with that one girl.
He was always like the
Well, he's always hooking up with
yeah,
one.
that was it. He's always like, hey.
Yeah. But this was a strange movie, but I was actually pretty entertained by it. I don't know about you guys.
So look, I'll talk about the opening.
Yeah.
So the opening was like, it reminded me of Peter Jackson's King Kong, right? Then it like transitions into Indiana Jones.
Right.
Then it transitions into this very dark drama.
Yeah.
And I don't think they ever knew what kind of movie they were making. Are they making an adventure movie? Are they making a dark drama?
And they kept implying that the boxing element was going to play more of a role, but it kind of didn't.
Right.
It was like all these little pieces that, kind of interesting pieces that they didn't really piece together.
Apparently it's based off the original script that Errol Flynn wrote for this. You know, as Hollywood goes, you need to make adaptations. I wonder if they didn't change around enough of his original script.
Not sure.
But what was the other complaint? I suppose I had.
There's complaints. I'm like, no. With me, there's problems.
Problems.
Oh dear.
To be accurate. Yeah, Rex, the guy who played Rex.
Yeah.
His acting. They could have put a wooden board up there
with a smiley face.
He was supposed to be like the straight man comic relief, I suppose, in a sense, or the straight man to the other ones.
Yeah.
And it was just.
He was terrible. Yeah.
I don't know. I always saw him
He
as
took me out of it.
the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
He was always kind of the butt of the joke, but it never the butt of the joke never played out the correct way.
Yeah.
Like I think it only worked one time, and that was when Charlie captured him and had him all tied up, and he's like, all right, had him sit there, and he unties everybody else except Rex, and Rex is sitting there going, what the hell about what,
That was
what
it.
about me?
That was the only joke.
That was the only time.
Right.
I was like, that was actually funny. This movie made me laugh.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, am I
One
supposed to laugh at this point?
His delivery was always just
off.
Yeah.
Bland and like they held the script right in front of his face and he just read it deadpan.
Yeah. That and it looked like he was reading the script as they were sitting there. Oh yeah, this is great. I don't know if I have to be doing this, but this is always a great thing to do.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
what are you doing?
Everyone else I thought did a good job acting wise, but I was kind of
the guy who played Charlie. I thought it was fantastic, actually.
Yeah,
he was a really interesting character.
I thought he was the guy from fucking Jaws.
He looked exactly like
He
Robert
did.
Shaw, but maybe there is some relation there. I don't know.
And then they had the kid from Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Peter played Peter in Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Was the Duke.
Okay.
Oh yes.
The Duke.
I still think that's
Nice
funny.
to see he's still getting work.
Oh, the guy. I think the movie producer in the beginning. I think that was like, didn't get drawn in by that. I just thought it was quick, fun, quick jabs and quick little quips like, oh hey, laugh at this, laugh at that, laugh at this. And
Pretty
it's
much.
I don't want to laugh at that. I don't want to laugh at that.
Yeah,
but
it didn't know what kind of genre it wanted to be.
Yeah.
What I took away from the movie, basically, it's an adventure movie with some moments of action and drama.
Sure.
Not so much humor, obviously, but it's actually nice to see an adventure film that's kind of like old school in a way. You know, for me, it
had that. It would have been great if they just kept going with that.
Yeah.
If they would have just picked a genre, it would have worked. So their elements worked, just not all together in the blender that they did. That was what I got from that.
Yeah, because they did like I think it was like midway during when they're on the boat, they changed it up again. It was like,
yeah.
I think I was saying, I said before, like I actually I didn't get into this movie. I didn't get into anything until they got to the town, or the last harbor,
Townsville. Yeah.
That was the only time I actually was invested. I'm like, oh, I want to see what the hell's going on because things were happening.
Right.
Before that, it was boat shenanigans. Oh, you shot the boat. Oh, you did this. Don't shoot that. Oh my God, you threw a spear overboard.
There was
really
a lot of crap going on, a lot of things.
And they're going off to get some gold, and they never get the gold.
They never got the.
Oh, I'm not supposed to say that.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's a true story. What did he get at the end? That was the other thing. Is I understand.
Gold.
I don't know. Maybe it's how Australians make movies, but American audience is an Australian film. American audiences, if you don't get what you're trying to get at the end of the movie, you get something else. So Indiana Jones didn't get the Holy Grail, but he got his dad, or he didn't get the Ark of the Covenant, but he got Mary.
Right.
He gets something.
Marion.
He gets something at the
Yeah.
end.
Okay, that's an interesting.
There wasn't
perspective.
that. He got what? He became a movie star. I don't know.
That's in a way that's gold. Like he
but
became
he
rich
wasn't
off of
even
that.
really trying to do that. I guess. He just
in a way he did get rewarded. Not the
Right.
way he envisioned originally, but he did.
It wasn't quite the trade-off I thought.
Yeah.
What did Indiana Jones get in friggin' what was it? Crystal Skull.
He got his son.
He got a son.
He got a wife and a son. Yeah.
But nothing in Temple of Doom.
He got Kate Capshaw.
He got Kate Capshaw.
Yeah, but what happened with her after that?
They never explained. Well, that was a prequel to Raiders. So yeah, I don't know. Something happened.
Well, he's like the origin of Indiana Jones is Spielberg was talking to George Lucas and he said, I really want to make a James Bond movie. And George was like, oh, I got something like James Bond. He's called Indiana Jones.
Right.
So the idea is that Indiana Jones gets a new girl in every movie based on James Bond. And the reason Sean Connery was cast as his dad was because he was 007.
Oh,
okay.
Those are the origins there.
Wow, that's actually interesting.
That's very cool.
That's actually very, very. I know that what was it when Raiders of the Lost Ark, the sword fighting scene in the bazaar that actually
with the gun.
Yeah, they said it was like it was supposed to be like the longest battle in the movie.
Yeah.
But he had the flu, and he was dying. He was literally just. They were like, they had to prop him up.
That was Ford's suggestion.
Yeah, they were like.
That was Raiders.
Shoot him?
That's funny.
It was the best thing because it was
the
like
funniest scene in the
Why
movie.
don't you just pull out a gun and shoot him?
Yeah.
Just shoot him. Okay.
Yeah, they all got
bang.
They all got sick because they were all eating the food. And
God.
Spielberg was the only one who didn't get sick
didn't
because
eat
he
the
was
food.
just eating his food right out of a can. He would only eat canned food while he was there.
Classic.
He was the only one that didn't get violently ill.
So this is the food in Cairo that they filmed?
Wherever they filmed it. I don't know where they
it was
filmed it.
whatever it was it was not fresh.
The other crazy thing Spielberg would do when he was doing Temple of Doom was he would only go out about 6 feet on the rope bridge. And then he would drive like a mile around and go
He
out
wouldn't
the
cross
6
it.
He wouldn't cross the whole bridge.
Well, it's like a rickety thing, yeah.
And he's made everyone else scared of rope bridges since then. When you think about it. I won't cross a rope bridge after seeing Temple of Doom.
No.
He's good at making people fear stuff. That's the best. Oh, no, he didn't do it. Yeah, Jaws.
Jaws.
So,
we were actually talking about this on the car right over.
Oh, the shark scene. That's right. Okay, so we'll go back to In Like Flynn.
Okay.
I know we're gonna.
There's this scene with
trample into this.
the shark where there's a scene where the shark's like about to eat him or something, and everyone's like worried, and we're all scared of sharks because of Jaws. Everyone knows sharks are scary, so everyone has seen Jaws, and that's why we're scared of sharks. Because otherwise, you have to establish fish as these scary things.
Yeah.
Right. So the problem is the sharks really aren't as terrible as people think they are.
Yeah.
And yes, there are deadly attacks, but the way
they only attack if they're provoked. Right?
It's more like
provoked or like
it's more like think of a shark that they swim around the ocean and they're curious creatures, and the way a shark explores something is they just bite it.
Yeah.
Because they're sharks and they go, oh, what is this? And they just bite it, and then if they don't like it, they spit it out. So they bite humans, and then they go, oh, this is terrible. And they spit it out. But since we're human beings and it's a giant shark, it's a very deadly bite.
Right.
And then everyone goes nuts and kills the shark for being a shark, which doesn't really seem fair. Like Bigfoot got killed for being Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And he wasn't doing anything except
he was just rummaging
his thing.
Yeah. And he got sick. That was what happened. He got sick. And that was the reason.
Well, actually, they wanted to kill him because they wanted to stop the virus that he's spreading from being spread.
Sick.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
He got sick, and they were like, well, we got to do this. And it's like, oh, yeah, we have a controlled circle fire.
That Bigfoot movie really wasn't about Bigfoot or Hitler, though. It was really about this guy who's lost in life and misses this woman that was in his life.
Yeah, they could have just called it. They could have just called it like the bar or
the hunter or something.
Or
that would have been good.
Well, then you think about like the hunter with like what was it, Christopher Walken? What was it, the
Deer Hunter?
Deer Hunter. That was
Oh
it.
yeah.
That still that'll never leave me.
Yeah.
So the other was another movie. What was it? Ice-T and
Ice-T.
It was
just
Ice-T.
a mention of Ice-T.
Just Ice-T. And oh god, I can't remember. He basically he was a down and out guy. Guy goes, hey, I'm gonna pay you a bunch of money. I want you to come out on this hunting trip with me. He's like, oh, cool, yeah, definitely. And they knock him out.
Oh, yeah, isn't that the one where they chased? There's a homeless guy or something, or a criminal, and they try to hunt him down in the woods.
Yeah, they knock him out, they bring him out, they drop him in the woods with nothing.
I remember that movie. Yeah.
and like a bar. I think
What's
it
the
was a
name,
chocolate
though?
bar. I
Do we
can't
know?
remember
Weekend
the-
last.
Can't remember the movie's name at all. Anybody in the comments?
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah. Weekend at Bernie's 3.
Yeah, Weekend at Bernie's 3. Yeah, great. But yeah, no. If anything, you tell if people in the comments want to tell that what movie that is. Go for it, because that was actually I thought it was a good movie, but it was a terrible movie in the sense because it was like you knew what the end game was, and you knew how the game how it was going to end, but it was just so like how they got to it. And this was when he had the dreadlocks, like Ice-T. This is before he became like Ice-T.
Television, film. Trying to find it. Surviving the Game.
Surviving the
Is
Game.
that the one? 94.
Yep.
Wow.
It was it was the guy that looks like
It's got Rutger Hauer. Well, he's great.
Yeah.
And Ice-T.
Yeah, Ice-T.
And Gary Busey. Holy crap.
Yep.
Wish we could review that.
Next week.
Yeah.
Runger.
Yes.
Unger the Radar.
Unger the Radar. Runger.
We're gonna
shortening it.
We're going to review that.
I love it. I love it.
Along with Punisher with Dolph Lundgren.
That was good though. 1990.
Yeah.
Good. I was a kid. I loved it. Maybe as an adult, not so much. I don't know.
We were so starved for comic book movies in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like even that Captain America movie.
It was the Dark Ages.
Never
comic
got
book movie.
released anywhere.
Oh.
Actually, speaking of Punisher, have you guys seen the new season yet, or
no? John Bernthal series. I haven't really watched it.
Bernthal he is Frank Castle.
Nice.
Like they have one episode. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it gets gory.
Better than Tom Jane.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Like this is. I'll tell you when the cameras are off. 'Cause I don't want to spoil anything for anybody that actually wants to like see that whole series.
Nice.
But it happens. Basically, he gets into a fight that just ends like brutal. Because he keeps asking one question: are you gonna talk now? Are you gonna have to talk? You gonna talk? You gonna say what you want to say?
He is so typecast as such a tough guy. I don't know. Like, can he ever do like a romantic comedy? I don't think so.
Sure. Well, he did. Well,
does he have that much range?
He did. What was it? Sweet Virginia.
Oh God, yeah.
That train wreck
that was so bad.
Yeah. Well, I fell asleep during it. And I woke up and
I don't even remember the plot or anything about it. Just that he was in it, and it was just a train wreck.
The whole plot was that he was like some guy that was just basically he saw this kid.
Yeah.
He wanted to be like give him a better life, but the kid was basically armed robbery every other way. Eventually, I think he figured it out, and they had like the standoff of like who's gonna shoot who, and then I think it faded to black before it even happened or something like that. I don't know. I was asleep.
I could barely
saw
watch
the credits.
it. It's so terrible. Oh yeah, well, it was Sweet Virginia, right?
Sweet Virginia.
That was the title.
I remember that one. That was a fun one. That was
Steer clear of Sweet Virginia.
along with the other movie that I constantly bring up, Opening Nights.
Oh,
I'll never let you forget that one.
Mr. Dan Shaggy GB here that was like the second show we did. I
called you
2017.
Yep. I remember the whole situation was. You sent me the movie link. I told you at first. I sent you a text. I'm like, hey.
I liked it personally.
It's like, but it was like, the beginning was, the link's not working. Just refresh it. Okay, refreshed it. Started watching it. 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
I thought it was 30 minutes in. I was like, wait a minute. I'm only 5 minutes in. I sent him a text. Are you effing serious? He goes, what do you mean? I'm only 5 minutes in and I'm already bored.
So basically, it's a movie. It's a comedy starring Topher Grace, who is like a stage manager for like an it was a Broadway
show.
A Broadway show on opening night, and everything that could go wrong does go wrong. And it was okay. It wasn't as bad as you're making it out to be.
At 15 minutes, I started heavily drinking.
Okay. All right. Well, I had a more positive reaction.
You can't go wrong with Topher Grace. He's always gives a solid performance.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it though, so
he's all right. He's a decent, except for Spider-Man 3. That was.
I will never forgive him.
He was good in Spider-Man. Everyone.
He was. I
can
Brock.
defend that.
Yeah.
He was a good Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
He was a bad Venom.
Right.
But
what
Venom.
First was he a good Eddie Brock?
His desperation, his zealousness, and then when Parker's about to call him out for faking the photo, and the way he switches. His just persona from this arrogant douchebag to like, come on, man, I need this.
Plus, he looks almost exactly like Tobey Maguire, and they're like they complement each other very well.
That's the thing.
I can't believe we're defending Spider-Man 3, but
the failings with Spider-Man 3 are or just too many villains.
Yes.
Everyone has a connection to Peter Parker in some way.
Right.
But like
the dance scene. I can go on.
Yeah.
But that was one of the better parts, was Topher Grace's performance as Eddie Brock, not as Venom.
I would have liked to have seen more Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman, like more of the backstory with his family.
Actually,
that was interesting.
That was the only part of that movie that I actually was like, wow, that's actually good.
Yeah.
He did a good job because he looked like the Sandman. He like basically acted like the guy. He was just like, I'm doing this because I need to do this.
Right.
And eventually, then he goes into, I'm doing this because I like doing this.
Yeah. And you know what, the special effects they overdid it with the visual effects in that. Like Spider-Man 1 and 2 were beautiful films, and they should just stop at 2.
Yeah.
Really.
Absolutely.
You know.
Well, I mean, okay, really, Spider-Man is not made for the big screen. He is a TV small screen character.
Unless Spider-Verse, I mean, come on, that was.
I hadn't seen that yet.
That was a work of art, my friend.
Really good.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the Spider-Man movie, even Homecoming, which I like,
Homecoming was good.
It's always these big epic battles in movies, right?
That's the formula, yeah.
But Spider-Man does small time stuff. He always gets the 2-bit crux.
That's why Homecoming was actually pretty good, because he was doing that where it was like, okay, I'm going to catch these guys, and then it was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Then when it's like, okay, the big villain comes out, it's like, oh, we got to do some. We got to do. I got to do some.
And that's what you need in a film. But Spider-Man would do better as like a 13 episode season.
Like a Netflix show.
They did a great. MTV did one like a decade or so ago. It was like an animated Spider-Man.
Right, I remember that one.
That was very well done. Like the anime, and I think it was this guy from Doogie Howser.
Yeah,
he was the voice.
Yeah,
he was
Patrick
good.
Harris.
It was a good show.
Yeah. Was it?
It was only one season, I think.
I think it was Spider-Man 2099 or something like that.
No, I think it was just Spider-Man. Just Spider-Man.
Oh.
Yeah, MTV's Spider-Man or something. The animation was great then, but yeah, I get you. I'm into the 90s.
Take the time to develop the characters, take time to develop who he really is.
Instead of just cramming it all in, characters.
If I was doing a Spider-Man TV show, I would do a whole season where he actually has a relationship with Uncle Ben, and then kill Uncle Ben in the last episode of the season.
Nice.
Then have him actually become Spider-Man. In that first season,
Are you talking live action or
live action? Absolutely.
That's cool. That's cool.
Like it was like he was Spider-Man before Uncle Ben.
Yeah. And then do a very Buffy-esque villain each season kind of deal.
Way to go.
And then you can
Randy
close
Giles.
out with the Sinister Six. Randy Giles. Yeah.
Randy Giles.
In case anyone was wondering, Randy sets up group chats on Facebook.
I do.
To organize the show.
Keep
and
us
so
in line.
What I do is I go into the Facebook group chat and I
me.
change Randy's name, his nickname, to Randy Giles, which is a Buffy the Vampire Slayer reference.
Yes. Do I remind you of Giles in a way? I've gotten that before.
No, I just
just because your name's
Randy.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
And Spike hated. He's like, Randy Giles. He was so upset. So I constantly changed the name.
I still think the best was when you changed Jen Covey's name to, what was it? I don't even.
We used her real last name, Miss,
okay.
and her real last name, which I don't know if she wants out.
We're not going to say that.
Yeah. So Jen Covey. It was Miss Covey, but whatever her nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
That's what that meant.
You spelled it wrong.
You spelled it wrong immediately. We're like, oh, okay.
It's hard to manage.
I love the in-jokes. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
So guys, let's fast forward a little bit to, this is a movie you guys didn't see, but I think everyone should see it. It's called Arctic. And basically it stars Mads Mikkelsen. You probably know him from Hannibal, Casino Royale. He played the villain in that. He's always like a villain. He's got that certain face. And basically he's in this movie here where his plane crashes and he's basically all alone and he's trying to basically trying to survive.
Can you give a little commentary on this, actually?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's always these movies where people are stranded in the middle of nowhere. And they have to make a decision on whether they should stay or they go.
Right.
And they always go. Right, because otherwise you don't have an interesting movie. Alive, The Mountains Between Us, right? It was and
with the Idris Elba.
Yeah, Idris Elba.
And that was actually pretty good.
The
same exact movie.
Far From Home, The Adventures of Little Yellow Dog. Right, they always
Alive.
Alive. Yeah, they always go. They always just go and they make it and they survive.
Open water.
They didn't go.
They stayed.
The only one, well, in Castaway, Tom Hanks does go eventually.
Yeah.
But it takes like an hour and a half.
But like everyone usually, you're trained to do in real life is stay where you are and someone will come get you eventually. Just stay and wait.
Right.
When did they do a movie where the guy actually stays and waits and the person shows up?
Open water.
Well, he sort of stays for.
Nobody showed up though.
He stays for a few weeks, but then he's like, "Oh, screw this, I'm gonna go."
Right. Just stay. Let's see what happens. What would that be like if you stayed and eventually somebody came? And there's a whole concept there of a film that they could do with like faith and believing and all that stuff.
Well, people don't want
and all
to
those
see this
things.
guy just sit in a crashed airplane eating canned goods.
There's stuff you can figure out.
Yeah.
I think that would be a better movie than somebody who's like, I'm going to go on this journey and almost die all the time,
Yeah.
and almost fall off cliffs and get eaten.
It's
by
boring,
bears.
but
Well, 100 and
But I haven't seen this movie, so maybe this is the great version of
Maybe.
it. Maybe they perfected the genre.
128 hours. That was he stayed there and he.
Well, he had no choice unless
Yeah.
he, you know.
Well, he. No, not to spoil anything, but
That movie's 10 years old. I
yeah,
think.
so, not to spoil anything, but yeah, he didn't stay after a while because he was
Yeah.
like, okay, I gotta cut something.
That was
off.
a true story too, though.
Yeah,
so he
yeah.
had to.
He really had
made
to.
a life
He had
decision.
to make a choice.
That's insane what he did.
And the
Cut
lesson
that off.
from that movie, though, is tell people where you're going.
Yes.
He
Keep
didn't tell
yourself-
anyone where he was going. He
Keep
was-
your cell phone on you.
Yeah.
So he had to make a choice.
It was pretty horrific. But yeah, Arctic, it's out now. I thought it was very, very well done, and the acting was great. Even though it's basically just him throughout the whole thing, but he gives a very physical performance. Like the stuff he goes through is pretty crazy.
Well, I think the only thing like I would say is like, oh, if I wanted to do one of those things, I would play like Subnautica, which is like basically the same idea, but you're in water. You're
Yeah.
literally the whole thing is you're in water, and you get killed by everything.
Well, that was
that's in
open water, pretty much.
Yeah, but no, the whole idea of that game is you're stuck on a alien planet, and people are actually trying to save you.
Okay.
But every time somebody tries to save you, there's a alien base that's sitting on the what do you call it? In the world, that is basically every time anything comes into play, it just kind of like pops up like a laser beam, goes, well, you're not supposed to be here. Boof.
Wait a minute. This is this for console?
This is a console, PC.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually a
Nautica,
really,
you said? Nautical?
Subnautica.
Ooh, okay, cool.
It's a very good game. It's basically a whole resource management, kind of like you have to make sure you survive. You got to drink water. You got to eat your food. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to.
Sounds like the Second Life, isn't
Sounds
it?
like Sims.
Yeah. Well, no. With the Sims, you can actually let them do their thing. This is like you actually have to go underwater. You have to find the materials. You got to come back to your base. You got to make the crap, then go back into the water, put the crap to use.
Incredibly mundane.
Oh no, it could
Sounds like
become.
something I would
it become-
never want to do. I don't even want to do that now in my real life. I don't want to play a game.
Isn't there
where
a
I
game
do
called
that.
Second Life where it's kind of the same? It was in The Office.
It's more like Second Life was like one of those things where you just sat there and you did like the mundane crap of like everyday
Like,
things.
why would you do that digitally? I mean,
Right.
But
it's even more boring digitally
Yeah.
than in real life.
But then, like when you're doing it, and you're like, you got to get away from like these creatures that are trying to kill you
Okay.
at all times. Like nothing in that game doesn't want to eat you.
Subnautica.
Subnautica.
All right, cool.
It's fun.
Good plug for that.
Yeah.
And I actually have one plug for this new soundtrack release. It's the LA Confidential score from 1997 by the great Jerry Goldsmith. He passed away in 2004, but Star Trek, The Omen, Gremlins, Total Recall,
Rudy, right?
Rudy, Hoosiers. The man was
you-
insane.
Angels in the Outfield also.
No, I think that was Randy Edelman.
Oh, okay.
But kind of similar
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
respect. He never really did a baseball movie. He did Mr. Baseball with Tom Selleck.
Okay.
But basically, they're re-releasing the LA Confidential score on LP. And I just thought I'd mention that. It's by the great film score soundtrack company Varese Saraband. And yeah, basically this is an original motion picture score limited to 500 copies, and you can catch it on varesesaraband.com. So
it's on vinyl?
yeah, it's on vinyl, it's on CD, it's on, you can download it too. But it's basically the original score from 97, just in LP form. So it's pretty good. It's kind of like Chinatown, that kind of like film noir, neo-noir feel.
Yeah.
But it's a great movie too, by the way. I don't know if you guys...
Russell Crowe's in that.
Yeah, Russell Crowe.
And Kim Basinger? Or no?
Yeah, she won the Oscar for that.
Yep.
That's right.
Guy Pearce, Kevin Spacey, Danny DeVito, James Cromwell.
Yeah, the list goes on with that movie.
Yeah.
That was like very star-studded, and it was like.
Yeah.
Well, some of them weren't even famous.
Yeah.
At the time, Russell
Yeah.
Crowe was like a nobody.
Yeah.
He didn't blow up until
Gladiator.
Or a little bit before.
actually the movie before that. He got nominated for an Oscar. The Insider.
Yeah.
With Pacino.
Yeah.
I actually didn't see it, but yeah.
I highly
looks
recommend The
Pretty
Insider.
good, yeah. It's based
Yeah.
on a true story
Yeah.
of it's like a TV journalist or something.
Yeah, the producer for 60 Minutes.
Okay.
and getting a guy to kind of go on the record about all the stuff the tobacco companies do about smoking. And
Oh,
stuff.
okay, cool.
Yeah, and the stuff that he dealt with from coming clean.
Yeah,
and
he did
stuff.
that in '99, 1 year before
Yeah.
Gladiator. Are you guys big Russell Crowe fans?
No,
not
absolutely not.
No. Okay.
I'll watch his stuff.
If there's a movie I'm interested in that he's in, I won't complain.
I would recommend The Nice Guys with Tim.
I would recommend
I was
that.
not. I was not impressed.
It was. I actually liked it to an extent.
I like the idea of it more than the actual.
Right. There's like certain spots that were actually good. Some spots were like actually, but a lot of times the daughter reminded me of like Penny from Inspector Gadget.
Right.
Whereas like she was solving the crime more than the freaking.
They put her in danger like 4 different times.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, Penny. And the funny, interesting thing, I don't know, let's talk about this theory if we're talking about Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, let's do it.
That Mad Claw, or whatever, is actually Inspector Gadget. And that's why Penny is always getting out of these situations. And that the Inspector Gadget that we watch is just a robot. And Claw went like crazy and is trying to get back at the organization, and Penny is his real niece, and that's why she always gets away.
So Inspector Gadget is controlling this environment.
Inspector Gadget's just a robot that they used.
Yeah.
And Claw was the real Inspector Gadget who got disfigured or something in some kind of accident and wants revenge.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. That was a very good theory. Because it's a whole different aspect of the show.
Then actually, like, you
is
get
that
more
an original theory of yours?
No. I read it online.
That's pretty cool.
I liked it, though. Yeah, it is my theory.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
They should reboot that live action, I think. I know they rebooted it in animation form, but
speaking of reboots, but not reboots, it's more of a you and me, we definitely we're in that realm of things.
Right. Oh, did you want to bring this up now?
I will definitely bring this up.
Bring it up.
All right, the third Ghostbuster movie.
Third Ghostbusters, directed by Ivan Reitman's son, Jason.
The one that said they're full of crap.
Yeah. Yes, in the second movie.
Yep.
At the birthday party.
Right at the beginning.
You know, my dad says you're full of crap, and that's why you went out of business.
No, they just were. Just at one point, they got very lazy with the script writing, and they decided we're not going to make a second film. We're making a second film.
Yeah.
You're full of crap. Yes. That was literally a jab at the studio, going, "You guys are full of crap."
That's funny. And finally, 30 years later, literally 30 years later.
But immediately, as soon as the trailer for that comes out, people start saying, all the Ghostbuster community said a lot of nice things. The people from the 2016 movie, not so much.
I don't know, man.
Now, I hadn't seen the 2016 movie.
You're doing yourself a favor.
Right, it hadn't piqued my interest, and not because it was an all-female cast or anything like that. Yeah. It just didn't look very entertaining.
Right. It was entertaining. It just wasn't very good the way it was handled.
Trailers were terrible.
Yeah.
But did you like it?
I liked it. It was a fun. It was like if you didn't think of it as a Ghostbuster movie in the universe of
the canon,
the canon universe. Yeah. Then it actually was an enjoyable movie because you saw like a different angle or a different aspect of like how you would bust ghosts, which wasn't even like them busting ghosts. It was just them blowing up ghosts.
I respect Paul Feig and what he attempted to do. Yeah, that's it.
I liked
but the execution kind of fell flat.
It fell flat. Yeah.
Have we ever seen a franchise go from the original franchise to a reboot franchise?
Okay.
Back to the original franchise?
No.
I don't think it's been. You
Right?
You can't go back and forth like that.
This is the first time I think I've seen this.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking now. The Dawn of the Dead movies, right? Night of the Living Dead movies.
Right.
But Romero keeps those movies going.
And then they had Return of the Living Dead.
They do remakes of his movies.
Technically, but technically, actually, all of the Romero movies were like it was actually he made a series of 7 movies, and it was called Zombie, and that was it.
It wasn't just the original 3?
It was not the original 3. It was actually 7 movies that he made that in Italy.
Okay.
And it was named Zombie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. But because it was just like all over the place, they had and they were like, well, we can't make this. We can't make this. Actually, this was actually something I watched on one of our friends, one of the guys we met in Pennsylvania that one time for RetroCon. James Ralph, the angry video game nerd, he actually had a big thing on it that was actually pretty interesting because he went through the list of all the movies where he's like, he couldn't call this because this. He changed up the name. It's like because it would get confusing.
Okay.
A lot of the movies that they did, they changed certain things because it was like, all right, we can't have number 1, but then number 2 because it would happen with the Final Fantasy series. 7 was actually 7, but 5 was actually 3. And then 2 is actually 4.
If 8 is 4, and I'll gladly pay you for a hamburger today.
Exactly.
No, it's kind of like Temple of Doom and Raiders, like how Temple
everything
was
was out of the
prequel to Raiders, but then
they did the prequel for Temple because they didn't want to have Nazis as the villains again.
Oh,
So
okay. Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So yeah, it was. But yeah, it was one of those interesting things where you're like, oh.
So Ghostbusters 3.
3.
Yeah, yeah.
An official Ghostbusters 3.
I mean,
Without
said
Harold
nothing.
Ramis, though. Without Egon.
Well, yeah, they're gonna bring him back as a CGI ghost
But
or something.
it's not gonna be him. And,
No.
But at the same time, none of the original cast has been approached or told.
Bill Murray showed up.
I
in a
heard
photo.
Ernie Hudson's in.
No, he's been saying straight out, I have not
he-
been approached by anyone.
And Dan Aykroyd's been pushing for
Dan Aykroyd has. I
for
think Dan
Ghostbusters
Aykroyd-
3 for like since
See,
Ghostbusters 2.
this is why I don't take these. These are rumors.
It's
to
all
me.
rumors. So.
And I take it all with a grain of salt, and I'm really.
But I'll say
nervous
I'm
about
excited.
this.
nervous.
Optimistically
I'm
nervous.
optimistically nervous.
Yes, that's the proper term in this situation.
Oh, I remember there was a term I was using, and I told Doug Walker this, and he was like, "That's actually a good word to use for it." I'm like,
it's really good.
It was something. It was optimism and nervous at the same time. It was like I'm optimistically scared for this film.
Yes, and plus, Jason Reitman's never really done a blockbuster action movie.
Yeah.
So
What has he done? I don't even know any of his
He's
stuff.
Tully. I think did he do Juno or he's done a bunch
Juno's
of.
great. Actually.
He's done a lot of
Okay.
great independent dramedies,
Okay.
quirky dramedies, but that's not the original feel of Ivan Reitman and Aykroyd and Ramis.
He's got his input from his dad, who
he's got his
made
genetic
the originals.
makeup.
He actually said that they're
Ivan will
both
be-
writing. They're both
Ivan will
writing
be
the
floating
scripts.
around.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Wait, Ramis and Reitman?
No, the Reitmans are.
Oh, they're writing it.
Writing it with with Dan Aykroyd as like the kind of the go-to person.
I'm still I don't know.
But at the same time,
I don't know. Now I'm more interested actually.
I'm curious. That was optimistically curious.
We'll see what happens. I mean,
the video game was supposed to be like an unofficial
third
Ghostbusters 3. and
but that
I
was a great game.
if they can get the 3 existing Ghostbusters in, then I'll be sold.
There's so many theories. There's so many ways of looking at it. There's so many ways you can write it.
You really only need Bill Murray. Come on.
No.
Well, you
Just-
need.
they
I
could just make a
prefer
movie called
Aykroyd.
Peter Venkman, and we would watch it.
The Venkman Chronicles.
Yeah.
Anybody would watch any of that.
And he might not
movie.
even be busting goats. He could just be Peter Venkman.
Just him
you
doing
know,
his thing.
Just like in Ghostbusters 2,
Yeah.
he's pretty much just doing his job and coming home to the apartment.
Yeah.
He doesn't even wear the uniform that much.
Being a psychologist and doing heavy tranquilizers on his dates.
Yeah.
Which, how does the psychologist get access to those tranquilizers?
Yeah, it's a
because
little
he does not
creepy.
have a medical degree. He has a
Again,
PhD. And everyone talks about the fact that he brought them on his date to begin with. But he shouldn't have had
He's
access
carrying
to
around
them
a syringe.
at all.
But at
Right.
the same time, this is I'm actually going to leave this one alone because I was going to say
For time, yeah, we only got 1 minute.
That
guys.
and also I was going to say a certain name that how did he get a hold of these drugs too? He went to jail for this. I'm not saying the name. I'll get friggin' yelled at.
All right. Anyway, what, Slimer? No.
No.
From the movie?
Ghost Dad.
Cosby.
Oh.
Oh, that's what's the
Wow. That went over both our heads, Joe, so don't worry about it.
Allegedly Cosby.
Allegedly.
Sorry.
So, guys, a few more seconds. Plugs, what do we got going on? Joe?
Joe, go first.
I like to play with toysproductions.com. Or you can email me at I like to play with toysproductions at yahoo.com with any questions or opinions about the ramblings I do on the show.
Or anything you want
Yeah.
Joe to make.
Oh, yeah. If, I'm looking for pitches, so yeah.
Cool.
If you want me to produce something.
Cool.
You got my usual.
I won't pay you
My
though, so.
long list of crap. You can find me on my cosplay page, Shaggy GB on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, Shaggy1331. You can find me also with a page that me, Joe, and my girlfriend are slowly starting up, Channel Nonsense.
And he's going to be at KatsuCon.
And we're going to be in KatsuCon in a couple weeks, so we're going to have some fun.
Awesome. Cool.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. A few plugs from our sponsor real quick. February 22nd to the 24th, the Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles. March 3rd is the Wellness Conference in Staten Island, New York. March 10th, the Original Psychic Fair in Glen Cove, New York. March 22nd to the 24th, the New Life Expo at the New Yorker Hotel in Manhattan. And more to come. And also, you get an extra discount if you mention Unger the Radar on the Magnitude website. So please do that. Guys, I'm your host, Randy Unger. This has been another edition of Unger the Radar, and we'll see you all again next week.
Here, here. Unger the Radar is all new next week with more movie reviews and interviews on Strong Island Radio and Television. Stay tuned. We'll see you next week.